Yo, 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 what's up, everybody? What's up? What's up?
you know,
We looking at it's October 27th on a wonderful Wednesday. Welcome to episode 2 of the Braincast. Smart people with smart mouths. I'm the left
you
side,
know what I
Cedric the
mean.
creator, and
I will be. I am the rights. What? That's what I say in English today. That's what happens when it's 4:30 in the afternoon and you've only been awake for 3 hours. Everyone, you know what I mean.
oh, dead. It'd be like that sometimes.
It's just the late
But
start, but we're here.
yes,
How
first
was
episode live on YouTube after many complications last week. We're 2 weeks removed from vacay, which
maybe
sounds
that's what we
crazy.
needed. Maybe that's what we needed.
It
We
sounds
just needed
crazy.
a we just needed a little and now we ready. Maybe we need one of them.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
Cause
But
baby, when we got back, I didn't want to do shit.
that's a fact. That's the reason why I'm still on a temporary hiatus. But I'm trying to cook up some big things for y'all, for folks over on my Twitch side,
18,
over
18.
in the channels down below that you see underneath my picture and whatever. We got big things,
And
especially in
if
the
you
next
don't
two
want the
months.
channels, click the link trees.
Yeah, that's a fact. That's a fact.
That
So
way
the
you
folks
can
over on
stay
my
connected
side,
with your favorite minds.
oh yes sir. Follow us both everywhere, man. There's things coming in the next couple months, man. For sure, for sure. So we got things cooking in the background.
X.
I think now that we're officially on episode 2, removed from vacay, we should start there, bro. How'd you like vacay, bro?
Bro, it was so refreshing, dog. I didn't realize how much I needed to get away until I got away. And even with the rocky start that we both had,
Mm-hmm.
because a shout out to Southwest, but not really.
Oh Lord, bro.
Even with the rocky start that we both had, I feel like it was one of them things where if bro, it was just the environment. Because I'm
Yeah.
telling you, any other vacation, any other group of people, I would have been blown for the rest of the time that I was there. And we still was like, so y'all still trying to go to brunch, or
Hell yeah.
fresh off the plane, no clothes, y'all trying to go to brunch still, or
Oh, big facts. Listen, quick catch up for folks who haven't been tuned in to us personally. We pulled up day one. I'm gonna give you dates and all that. That doesn't matter. But day one, pulled up Saturday night myself.
yeah,
I
I was
meet
supposed to be there, but
exactly. I meet Light Fury 101 for folks who are within our communities who know who that is. A very good friend of a friend of ours, friend of the show for sure.
you
She was
know,
on the first episode. If you haven't checked that
she
out, you can go
was.
check out that whole mess. Oh, but
That was the first episode and probably the last until the year anniversary. I'm not gonna hold
oh
you.
boy, as far as IRL is concerned, yeah, for sure. So we meet Light Fury. Oh my God, we ain't seen each other before IRL because internet friends are real friends. I'm not gonna have this conversation with y'all. Anywho, me here for the first time. We're having a conversation, crazy. We all enamored in our conversation. The rest of the people on my flight are passing through, picking up their bags. I literally had to cut in our conversation. It was probably at this point like 20 minutes deep. I'm like, hey yo, where's my bag? I'll go around the carousel like 2, 3 times. No bag. I'm like, maybe it's over here. Maybe it's over here. They take off all the extra bags and nobody claimed yet. Put it on the side. Let's go. Let's go look through that.
Right.
I did like 4 laps. Ain't no bag. I'm
Ain't
like,
no, ain't no way, ain't no way you did 4 laps around that little ass cat.
I prop, bro. Life Fury is in the live chat as we speak.
Hey
You can
yo,
ask her. I was definitely. She was standing over by the baggage office, and I probably checked all 4 corners at least 4, 5 times. So I'm like, I'm in disbelief that my bag is not here right now.
that's
I have
crazy,
never had
bro.
this situation happen to me ever, and I've been traveling at least to New York and back. I've traveled before. I've traveled for a very long time. I've never had this situation happen to me before. We go into the baggage office, and they're like, "Oh, your bag never left Florida, huh?" What's she talking about? What
I'm
you
like,
mean leave? Well, huh? What do you mean?
what?
So like, well, it'll be here on the first flight from Florida in the morning. So first night in Pittsburgh, I was definitely homeless. I ain't had no extra clothes. I ain't had my toothbrush. I had nothing. I was
Bro, shout out
100%
to Des
homeless.
for being hella prepared for us. Des
Oh
stocked her
man.
house up. We had
Oh
extra
bro.
toothbrushes. We had extra skincare. We went and got our favorite snacks and drinks. Bro, you would have thought we was going to be there for way longer than we were. Bro, shout out
And
to Des,
boy, if
bro.
I had the opportunity, I definitely would have, nigga. Because the fuck what I came back to. But
No, dead ass.
that's a whole nother topic.
Oh,
So
way.
that first night, I was definitely homeless, but it was a vibe, bro. Me and Light, we was on our college dorm tip. You know that stuff, that vibe that you see in college TV shows all the time, like 3 a.m. just sit on the kitchen floor, just eating random snacks and getting drunk. We definitely did that first night. What we talked
Love it.
about, we don't fucking know. We just talked about shit. And oh, I lied. We was talking about some insider info on the community, but hey, that's not how we
You know what I
starting off on
mean?
YouTube. But hey, it is what it is. But it was definitely a vibe. Next morning, we had to do double duty. Number one, I had to go pick up my bag. Number two, I had to go pick up juice.
Know what I mean?
So you can pick up from here.
And like I said, me and Said were supposed to come in at the same time. I think you're supposed to land, what, like 20 minutes before me?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I did not have a straight through flight. I had a layover. And my initial flight was late for whatever the reason. I don't know what the fuck was going on in Dallas, Texas, but you know, that's the reason my flight was late. So I'm sitting there and I'm like, okay, first of all, my layover is not that long. I mean, we got 45 minutes to an hour layover, which for those of you who fly is not a lot of time. It's not, because you got to deboard and all that other shit. It's not a lot of time.
Right.
So any complications to your flight, next thing you know, as soon as you get off the plane, you got to hit the 400-yard dash to your gate. You feel me? Because that happened to me before. So that's what I'm preparing to do, because I was like, you know, what's the worst that can happen? Completely disregarding the fact that I'll miss my layover, because I never expected to, because, you know, what the fuck for? I'm flying at night. How? When I tell y'all, I'm sitting there and I'm watching the screen that's saying, okay, now it's supposed to land at this time. And it keep getting farther away. And I'm like, okay, I have a layover. So like, y'all finna hold my shit? Or what? No. So the plane gets there and, you know, we're getting up, getting ready to board or whatever. And our stewardess gets on the mic and she tells us, and it's not just me, it's like 4 other places that got a layover. We all finna miss our flights. All of us.
That's crazy.
All of us. Because I was not coming to Pitt by myself. There was actually, and I didn't find this out till I got there and was looking for my bag, that there was actually somebody else on my same flight coming to Pittsburgh looking for their bag. So I had to call my mother and go home, because luckily I bought my ticket online. So as soon as that flight got canceled or I missed it or whatever, Southwest immediately found me another ticket. So good thing for that. So I literally just had to go home. But I was like, where's my shit? So I go, you know, to the stewardess desk and I'm like, hey, you know, I had a layover, blase, blase. And she was like, oh, it should go straight through. I said, oh, okay. Call my mother and I was like, hey, you gotta come get me, whatever. She said, okay, cool. She come get me. I didn't really go to sleep because I had to be to the airport at 6, just because my flight the next day was at like 8. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna take a little quick cat nap or whatever. I'll sleep on my flight. So I get there and I'm like, okay, straight through flight. Love that. Because, you know, that's the least you could do.
Right.
So I get there and I'm like, all right, after I done had to rearrange our brunch plans so we can still go possibly, you know, I'm going to just have to, basically, I'm getting a mindset, I got to get there and immediately get ready to go. Not knowing what happened with said stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So we get there and I'm like, okay, I'm looking on the carousel or whatever. Destin said, come around the corner, and this genuine organic reaction. I was like, oh hey y'all.
And we just picked up conversation
like we just
we've done
picked up
this many
conversation
times
like I
before.
see y'all every day.
Like,
I was like, oh hey y'all. And they were like, so I was like, I'm just waiting on my bag. And then I was like, let me see.
and I was like, hey,
like,
so am I.
Right. I was like, where's your, and he said that, and I was like, what? Now no, Sad's bag comes off the carousel from my flight.
That's the funny part. As soon as I said that, and I'm talking to Dez
from my flight.
As I'm talking to Dez and Juice is in the office, I'm like, bro, there's this ugly Humpty Dumpty pea soup green bag that look like mine that keep going around this carousel. Is that mine? I'm like, I'm gonna let that joint go around 2 more times just to see if nobody picked it up. Nobody does. If nobody does, I'm gonna pick it up and check. That joint came back around twice. The third time, I'm like, you know what?
Bro.
Take it off.
And behold, bruh. Ain't no way.
And it's mine, bro. Coming off with Juice's fly.
I'm like, so I go in there, I'm calm, I'm cool or whatever, because I have my carry-on. So all my important stuff, wallet, face routine, toothbrush, shit like that, is in his bag.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, all right, cool. I'll go in there and I'm like, hey, I had a layover last night, blase. And he was like, oh, I actually had somebody in here earlier on the same flight as you, and their bag was in Chicago. And I was like, pardon? He was like, yeah, but let me look.
Oh my God.
And I was like, because he saw the look on my face and he was like, okay. So he was like, first name, last name, flight number. And I was like, blah, blah, blah. And he was like, yeah, your bag's in Chicago. It actually just got there. And I was like, pardon?
But I just got here. I'm confused.
I was like, I was told it would come straight through. And he was like, apparently, because the flight that I was initially supposed to be on missed all the layovers, it went straight to its initial destination, which just so happened to be the Windy City. I was not aware of this. So, I get the form, get the little insurance form. They do a little thing for me or whatever. And they're like, but this particular flight will be here later on today. Like, it'll be here like 6. Right. So we're going to call you. If you haven't got a call by like 6:30, give us a call. And, we can either have it delivered, to the address that you're staying at, or you can come get it. So I called my mother and she was like, you might want to go get it. I was like, girl, I am. Because at this point, I don't trust y'all to do anything. Anything. So, like I said, because I was just like, I got everything I need, like, first grab. So, basically, I'm just like, y'all still want to go to brunch? Because we definitely still got a reservation.
Hell yeah.
And they were like, yeah. So, we went to the house. That showed us around the city or whatever. I put my bags down. We all brushed our teeth and then we left.
Facts.
Like, had an excellent brunch and basically just like stayed out for the day. Just
shout
so
out to the Acorn in Pittsburgh, bro.
Shout out to the Acorn in the Pit. We will be back. Will be back, boy, for dinner next time because I want to get that experience.
That too, for sure.
Because, boy, the ambiance, the way we were taken care of,
one of my highlights.
It was
one of my highlights for sure.
Very much one of my highlights. Very much one of my highlights. The ambiance, the experience, the way the owner took care of us just because we knew what we were talking about when it came to certain stuff. It was a cool little spot. It was a nice little place. Food was fire.
Ooh.
Amazing, bro. I love having my friends taste things they've never had in a comfortable way. And this was the spot to go to. Excellent way to start off the trip. Shout out to the Acorn once again.
For sure.
We will definitely be back because that food amazing. Drinks were amazing. It was a fun time. I normally don't go to restaurants and just swipe my card. But we did that day and did not
Oh
care.
boy, we just ordered whatever, and then we
Because
saw the price. We was like, oh, hey, y'all know this.
oh,
Y'all know this check in
okay.
triple digits, right? Aha,
On me. Because normally we would have been like, but then we was like, look at all the food we got. We literally ordered half the menu.
Hey, bro, it's
Almost half the brunch menu. I'm not gonna hold you. Like, had what Des wanted been available, we would have been ordering half the breakfast menu.
We definitely went off. And we was
but
like, you know what?
it was
vacay.
it was very much worth it because, like he said, hey, vacay. It was worth it. You know, everything was amazing. Everything blended together well. It was fantastic, bro. Them beignets was to die for.
Which, side note for folks who never traveled before, don't travel with no money.
Don't do that.
That dampens the experience. See, I'm really broke usually. I went and found a way to get me some money. I had to. I need to enjoy this vacay. I haven't had one in a very long time.
Even though we were on some like we split it 3 ways, cash app it all to Des, and she swiped one card just to make it easier on our server.
Right.
Don't go nowhere broke. It don't matter how long you gonna be there. Unless you literally there for a day on business type B. If you're going on vacation, don't go with no money. Always overestimate how much money you gonna need.
Oh, indeed. It's always better to over prepare than to under prepare.
But I digress. The Acorn, amazing.
Indeed.
Excellent little spot in the city to walk in. It was a time. It was a wonderful time.
Indeed.
Pino's, where we had Dex's birthday dinner, where we ended the trip. Also amazing.
Indeed.
Very high class in a comfortable environment. It was amazing. The owner and chef was just walking around saying hi to everybody. Cool dude. We had ribs and bread.
If you want to see that
and
one.
If you were there, you were there. If you weren't, the after show is still up on my channel.
Yep, twitch.tv/juicyjuice_. And that is JUICEY juice
JUICEY, because I'm not trying to get sued.
Indeed.
So, but that was a trip, you know.
Yeah,
we ate. I got to meet 2 of my favorite people. Aww. And it will happen again.
My heart.
We went to the zoo. The zoo was a day. The day we went to the zoo was probably my favorite day.
Oh.
It was probably my favorite day because we went to the zoo. We came home. We watched, the Sopranos movie.
Mm-hmm.
I made Destin set a charcuterie board.
Charcuterie, boy. Yes, sir.
Jesus Christ.
Charcuterie.
I made Destin set a little snack charcuterie board. We got to spend some time together. That was probably my favorite day. Yeah,
man. It's dope. It's definitely.
But vacation as a whole, 1,000 out of 10 would definitely recommend. It's gonna happen again. Shit, we probably gonna go see Des just for longer.
Yeah, oh boy.
Because that shit was I did not want to leave. I didn't cry like I thought I would, but it was probably because I was tired. But but it was probably because I was tired and I was stressed because boy, I did not know that airport got that busy.
Oh boy.
I thought Hartsfield Jackson was busy, and it is. The airport in Atlanta is busy, but it's bigger.
You see,
I think
Juice got lucky.
The fact that this
she
airport
got home.
Wasn't that big for real. Facts.
Juice got home on our return flight, and we'll cap this off here because we got other stuff to get into for real. Some good topics too, so y'all stay tuned for that. I'm gonna for sure after the show, for folks who are listening to this afterwards, I'm gonna try to get the chapters the way YouTube has chapters now. I don't see a lot of people do timestamps anymore. There's chapters where you literally have a mini playlist and all that. I'm gonna try and get that set up for y'all so y'all can filter through the show. So either the day after or sooner or later, it's eventually gonna be there. So for folks who's like, oh, can we get to the top? Y'all can filter through. Anyway, our return flight. Juice got her straight flight, and we have the same flight. I was just connecting out of Atlanta to go back down to South Florida. Here's the issue. Get there. We have our big goodbye hug or whatever. Juice goes about her way. I go to my gate. Supposed to get on my flight at like, what time was it? I think it was like
your layover
7.
was already hella long, bro. Your layover was already like 3 hours.
I think I had to get on like 7 or 8.
Yeah.
My shit got pushed back to 11:45, y'all. I shit you not.
Yeah.
Fuck am I doing in Atlanta airport for 3.5 hours? What do I ain't playing for this.
That late at night. Had it been any other time of the day, he would have been at least like, you would have been able to go eat at the Ruby Tuesdays or something.
Fuck am I doing for 3.5 hours, bro?
You could have went to TGI Fridays.
Lucky enough for me, 1.5 hours got knocked off by the time we finally got on the plane. Cause I got on the plane like 9:45, 10 ish, something like that. We didn't take off till like 10:30, so that means by the time I got home, we looking at 12:30, 1 a.m.
Jesus.
Which shouldn't have been the fact. I was supposed to be home by then, unpacking by then. I landed home at that time. Terrible. It's terrible. I've said it again. When it comes to Southwest, I will do everything in my power not to fly with y'all again. I promise you.
No, deadass.
No.
I'm so serious.
I've never had an experience like that flying ever in my life.
This trip I'm taking in February will probably be the last time, and that is only because I'm not flying by myself.
Not doing it. And my mama looked at me weird too. She was like, what airline are you using? It was like Southwest. She's like, huh? Never heard of it. We do JetBlue in this family. I said, look, listen, I had JetBlue money. I don't need the y'all.
That's a fact.
Out here telling me,
fact, boy,
which airlines to take. You got JetBlue money? Give me JetBlue money, bro. JetBlue, no problem.
JetBlue on their Delta shit, for real.
So, I'm mad because JetBlue used to be the affordable one, but everybody caught on, so they're like, oh,
affordable and safe.
Y'all fuck with us now.
Affordable and safe.
Price hike. Y'all fuck with us now. Price hike. But man, I can see why. I'm gonna have to pay that extra $100, bro. Because if you think I'm doing Southwest again, never.
I get free Wi-Fi and a TV on JetBlue.
Because on top of that, guess what I found out, y'all? For my folks that's over on my Twitch channel, thanks to this Southwest amazing customer service and flight.
Oh my god,
retention or whatever you want to call it. They broke my fucking PlayStation 4, so no PlayStation 4 games for a while. Hopefully I get blessed during Christmas, but my PlayStation 4 is out of commission. Folks who don't know, that's how I started my career here in content creation. Never had a problem. The moment I get off this flight, blue light of death. Blue light of death. So now I have no PS4. I'm only on the Switch right for now. Nintendo November coming up for folks who are on my Twitch channel. Once again, if y'all about the gaming stuff, we got Nintendo November coming up. Our second annual stream miss going on over at the Twitch channel. So twitch.tv/Cedric the Gamer if you down for all of this kinds of things. The next couple months is going to be real active over there. So come through, join it. You're going to be here for the festivities. It's going to be fun.
Same thing with the Twitch channel at Juicy Juice _ that is EY. Don't get me sued. We will be joining in some of the festivities of Streammas.
Yes, sir.
And we finna get back in our baking bag, y'all.
Yes, sir.
We back at it with the sweets because it's cold out.
For folks who don't know, who may be finding us through the podcast, if you don't know, Miss Juicy Juice here is a culinary extraordinaire. You need to check out her content, bro. If you love food, if you love great food, oh yeah, trust. In the next couple episodes, we're gonna have a command running here for cookies. Cookies amazing. I bought me some, and I'm going to buy some more. You best believe it. She thought I was playing.
Shop closed till November though, because I got to re-up on everything because of Mr. Cedric the Gamer buying out all of my things.
She think I'm playing. Listen.
Cedric and Kai, if he's in here, Kai is the reason we closed till November, because Kai literally bought everything.
Support your friends. You hear me?
Yes, at full price.
Support your
friends at full price.
That does not mean, oh, because you're on a string, just be like, hey, shout out to my to so and so. They be making cookies. Cool. That's great and all. We love that. However, support all the way.
Like you said, you were about to put in a big order. You can. It just won't be till next month. It'll be on hold. I'll put you on the list.
You can ask Miss Juicy Juice here. I bought a max order of everything.
He definitely did. Said was my first big order, and said bought a dozen of everything, and now I have doubled my menu because of so.
And the new menu, I'm buying a dozen of everything again. I promise you. This is how you support the homies, bro. You help them, bro. You help build the capital. You help build that foundation that will be on the way up. This is how we do it. Anywho, that was a lot of catching up to do.
It was, really, but you know,
let's really get into these topics now. We got some stuff for y'all. I think y'all gonna like it.
We really do. I'm fucking with the topics from this week, especially when we get into my neck of the woods.
For sure. And so, first and foremost, I'm trying to think of a smooth way to introduce this, because this could get real hairy real quick.
This is a very touchy subject. It
is,
but you know.
So from all my black folks, my black kings and queens, brace for impact.
Please.
This one right here is gonna be a doozy. So for folks who are in our communities, you know that number one, we're very heavy in talking about black culture, the effects of racism, et cetera, within our communities. The game room over here on my side, and the fridge over in Juice's side.
Of course.
We consistently talk about these things, as well as we watch a lot of videos together, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Came across this video one late night with the homies and watching this. And I'm like, I have to talk about this on a podcast. So without further ado, I'm going to give you the source material of what we're talking about, and we're going to take it from there. So just check this out.
You can't really own a word. I think, you know, we can own it in the sense where it's a black cultural thing, but the idea where we kind of make it out to where we say like, oh, other people can't say it. I think that's more of like a insecurity within the black culture of not being able to hold power, because historically, it's like, right, historically, black people didn't have as much power, so we're trying to hold on to literally a word that only has meaning because we add meaning to it.
I mean, so hopefully you all caught what my man was saying. Whew, okay, let's take some time to unpack this. So
yeah,
pretty much what he's saying is the word, the N word. Obviously, I'm not gonna say it here, but
right, trying to get a channel clap before we started.
Nah. He is suggesting that we're trying to take ownership of a word, and the black community, barring any other community from saying it, is a sign of insecurity, since apparently, quote unquote, there's always been a history of us being deprived of power and always wanting power, to keep it as simple as possible. I don't know who brother is. Right. Like that. I'm not here to tear people down. But
right. I was You are, and I say this followed by an explanation for everybody who does not know what it is. The first thing I thought of when I saw it was, it's giving token black friend.
Ooh.
And what I mean when I say that is there is no problem, with being friends with people that are outside of your race. Be multicultural everywhere. We love everybody over here. But for those of you who don't know what the token black friend is, that is a black friend in majority of the times a group full of Caucasians, of whites, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And they feel you being their friend alone makes them feel comfortable enough to do things that if they were near other black people, they necessarily would not do.
Which is another
But because
problem with the black friend
you're
thing.
their friend, they feel comfortable doing it. And not just in your presence, unless it is checked, but especially if it's not checked, in your presence and in the presence of other black people, because you're the only black person that they're around most of the time, if not all of the time. So they're taking their picture of black people, throwing it out, whatever it was before they met you, and now they're putting you in there. So whatever you act like is what they perceive, that's just what they see black people as.
Exactly.
That's what they're comfortable with. That's what they think everybody's okay with. And that's how you get to certain demographics of white people being comfortable with saying ignorant things like, it's just a word, why can't I say it, stuff like that. If it's in a song, it's just in a song, stuff like that. And that is the vibe I get from this young man, because I'm not gonna hold you, that entire statement is something a white person would say. Something a white person that feels like they know what the black experience is like for whatever the reason, because you're an activist, quote unquote, because you're a quote unquote ally, because you're around just enough black people, whatever. You're not black, so you will never know what the black experience feels like. But because you think you do, this is your point of view on something that you really shouldn't have a point of view on.
Indeed. And to pick up from the token black point that Juice is making, the issue with that is, as she explained a little bit, is the token black guy or token black friend, because obviously can be a queen as well. People take it as that one person represents the whole demographic of the black culture. Never. The same way, I'll even flip the coin here. When we have our qualms and issues with white people that we may have seen one white person do, and we're like, wow, white people crazy, and you white folks like to jump out and be quick and be like, nah, Jason right there is crazy, not everyone. It's the same thing. Just because one black person may be okay with you saying the N-word, which that's a whole issue in itself, but hey, that's a whole nother topic. Them being comfortable with you saying it does not mean the whole race is okay with that at all. That's what that's what I need people to understand. That just because one person is okay with it does not mean everybody's okay with it. And what's made it a bit worse is with the coming of the internet.
Mm-hmm.
You look everywhere, especially because around the time that the internet really became mainstream, so did black culture and hip hop become mainstream. So whatever is mainstream is what you see the most with hip hop, and a lot of artists who are out here who say the N-word in songs that tend to be running the airwaves. Because you hear them say it, you think that the whole culture is cool with you saying it. No.
Right.
No.
Nope. Because in actuality, they shouldn't even be cool with you saying it. And majority of the time, they're not.
Exactly.
But because you have so many people that are in the mindset of, I don't want to be a problem, or I don't want to cause a ruckus or something like that, you're choosing, by not checking them in that point, to be a part of the problem.
Yes, man.
Because if you more scared of checking somebody because you think somebody gonna look at you as a buzzkill or whatever or something like that, then the actual problem of this person saying something ignorant, something they shouldn't be able to say, something like, something like that, that's a problem in itself.
Right. It's giving I'm not racist, but like very much so.
Very. And that statement alone is a contradiction in itself. Because if
Boy.
you have to add a but, that means whatever you finna say afterward is finna be racist. So in terms, yes, babe, you're racist.
Sure, the same way in the black culture when folks want to say things and be like, "Hey, yo, no homo," but come on, bro, you know what you're doing.
Or no offense, but
For facts, you know what you're doing. And a lot of you folks who are out here who are fighting for this, because the funny part is, which is a point that literally right after the clip that I showed you guys or that you guys heard, man goes on to make the point of, terms like fat. How our bigger folks flipped that word together back in the 90s to make that an endearing term. The way that our queens have flipped the word bitch to be a term of endearment amongst them, which white women participate in too. Of course, bigger white folks participated in the word fat becoming an endearing term in the 90s as well. No one has argued those points.
Because they're not on the same level. They're nowhere near the same caliber of this word.
But to this day, y'all want to fight for the N-word. Why?
For whatever the reason. Because everybody want to be black till it's time to be black. And what I mean when I say that is you want to have the style and the drip and the hairstyles and the lingo and the culture, but you want to have all this fun stuff that we got, all the food and all this fun stuff that we got. But when it comes to not being able to get a job based solely off your name on application, having a lower chance of getting into college, having to work harder to do the bare minimum and not getting half of the recognition for it, having to fear for my life when I get pulled over. Simple shit. That is also a part of the black experience. That's more a part of the black experience than all this other shit that y'all want to be involved in.
I want to look at the black culture in the way that we live life as a nirvana. There's only good things. The bad things don't exist. No, bro.
But at the end of the day, you want to have all the shit that you can take off and change and all this other shit. The color of my skin is not an aesthetic for you.
Talk to him.
It's not. The color of my skin, my life as a whole, my cultural experiences and all that other stuff that I have to deal with on a daily basis, because I can't wake up and be like, I'm gonna dress like this today and everybody gonna treat me different. No. This is who I am as a person. This is me. This is my life. These are my life experience and the people who came before me and the people who gonna come after me and everything that happened beforehand to get to right here. And everybody want to be black till it's time to be black. It's okay to use the culture as an inspiration because everybody take inspiration from everywhere.
Nothing's new under the sun.
Nothing. And anybody that say different, you gatekeeping unnecessarily.
Oh.
However, know your place. Because you got one, especially on this side of the fence. You ain't meant to eat at every table you see.
Just gotta let some things breathe, bro. as well as there's a difference between being an ally as well. You can be an ally. You know what I'm saying? Like, one thing that becomes a great area as well for a lot of people in the black community are some of the white kids that unfortunately grow up in our communities, who are around our culture and all they know is our culture, and may grow up to, honestly, put it as simple as possible, grow up to quote unquote pretend to be one of us. Which myself personally, and I can only speak for myself, to a certain extent, I don't blame them. But as well as once you get to a certain age, obviously, you gotta pick up the knowledge and understand why it may be an issue for you to be parading around with our culture to a certain extent. You know what I'm saying? Because if you're nurtured in the community, I understand some of your mannerisms just become natural, whatever the case is. But pushing it as far as if you think you can walk outside of your hood somewhere else because you grew up in the hood and think you can pull up to a black person from outside your neighborhood and be like, yo, what's up, my nigga? No, whoa, what you doing?
No, sir. You not getting your car pulled. You getting that shit snatched.
Hey, what you doing? You know what I'm saying? You did that in your hood. You grew up in the hood. I understand that you've dealt with a lot of black folks. You probably seen a lot of black folks and the things that we go through. Some of your homies probably went through it. That's part of the allyship. However, another responsibility of being an ally is not becoming an oppressor or a cultural appropriator, because that line is there, and you have to constantly and consistently be aware of that line, because you can easily cross it. And a lot of folks, when they cross that line, they kind of don't come back. So
because you get comfortable.
Exactly.
Comfortability is a problem.
So pay attention to that. Great topic. I love that. The next one, funny part is, I was just thinking about this randomly, right? One day. There's always been a lot of conversation around the age gap for relationships, of course. The whole, I don't remember the equation. I think it's cut your age in half and add 7, and that's the age gap you should be comfortable with. I think that's the equation. Don't quote me on it. Some people do that. That's a thing. I promise you it's a thing.
I'm gonna do that. Wait.
I promise you it's a thing.
You said cut the age in half?
Take your age, divide it by 2, and then add 7, I think it is.
Okay.
Or minus 7. Which one is it? It's something of that nature. And for anybody in the live chat that may know what I'm talking about,
you should be comfortable with.
That should be okay, quote unquote.
Oh my! So we're saying,
or is it add 7 and cut it in half, something like that? I don't remember.
Okay, let me do that. Because what I'm getting when I do that is this is an age. This is an age that this is the youngest age you should be looking at. If that's the case,
I'm butchering this equation. I'm pretty sure.
Because
so
I'm
anybody
looking at 18 and a half.
Anybody after the fact who may be watching this, drop it in the comments down below. Or if you're in the live chat, you know what I'm talking about. Be sure to educate me. Either way, the point I'm making here, it's a heavy conversation. But I don't know if anybody really talks about age gaps with friendships. So for folks who are in the live chat, go ahead and sound off your opinions. Personally, for me, right, there's levels to it. And what I mean by levels to it is, like, for myself personally, folks who don't know, I lead a young youth ministry with the church that I go to. Right. I've watched a lot of these kids grow up. It's a lot of high schoolers as well as kids who are beginning in college. I've watched them growing up. We've really got to know each other. We've known each other's lives or whatever the case is. I'd consider those people my friends. I take them out to eat after meetings, stuff like that, on weekends or whatever the case is. Nothing like I met them randomly somewhere when they're like in middle school and I was about to graduate high school and be like, hey, yo, we should be friends. Come hang out with me. It was nothing like that. All right. that situation, mad creepy, mad weird. Hey yo, go meet some people. Go to your own social scene, bro. Cause that's some shit. But
God.
but within the environment that I just described, I'd consider us friends. Whenever those kids have problems, they hit my phone, I talk to them. Whatever the case is, their parents know of me or know me personally. Some of their parents work with my mom. Stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? It's within the church community. I'm one of the, youth ministers, stuff of that nature. That kind of relationship isn't necessarily, you know what I'm saying, seen as quote unquote sus. You know what I mean?
Babe.
So, which is why I say in certain situations, you take it with a grain of salt. You just pay attention. You know what I'm saying? Because obviously that kind of relationship can go awry real quick as well. Because folks know the history of what goes on in Catholic churches. But outside of that, for myself, I'm currently 26. And I don't really see myself associating with anyone probably outside of their 20s, for real. In certain situations, there's a couple people that I know, which you even in the online community that I'm cool with. I consider them homies, sure. But for me and where I am in my life, past 20, even 2021 is a bit shaky for me. Depends on the personality and who you're talking to. You're still a bit young. You know what I'm saying? The mentality is what I'm talking about here as far as young is concerned. Because number one trend that I've realized with a lot of kids between like 18 and 21, for some reason, when they come around older folks, they have this innate ambition to prove that you're old enough.
Oh my God.
And personally, I don't care. What do you old enough to be paying your own bills or whatever the case? I don't give a fuck. Well, excuse my French. I don't care. Why do you think you need to prove to me that you're old enough? I don't care. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? You're wasting your time and you're wasting your breath. I don't know why you need this validation from older folks or whatever the case is to show that you're mature. But the thing about maturity is it's not a label. It's not. It's a lifestyle. It's a mentality. You embody it. You know what I'm saying? You stop acting like a child. Like, maturity is not as complicated as you may think. And so if there's anything that tells me you're not mature, it's the fact that you're trying to prove to me that you're mature. It's the same way when you meet folks that be trying so hard to be funny. That's what makes them unfunny. You're trying too hard. And with a lot of younger folks that I've seen, especially within the internet community that I've watched in various communities, you're trying too hard. Just live your life, bro. You just got out of high school. You have your interests. Be passionate about your interests. Delve into it. You got your homies. Hang out with your homies. Do whatever you do. That's it. Stop trying so hard. You ain't got nothing to prove. Parents ain't around no more. You ain't got nothing to prove to me. So for me, at least on the younger side, I'm not going outside of 20. As well as I think it works on the opposite side of the spectrum. Like, I'm 26, but I don't know if I'm just going to be hanging around people who are in their 40s. You know what I'm saying? Of course, certain situations pop up to where you may have certain things in common or whatever the case is, but we're in two different phases of life, and I don't know what I'm going to talk to you about or hang out with you about when you're in your 40s and I'm just 26. There's nothing.
Golly.
What you want me to do? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? So as far as the age gap is concerned, I would say oldest I think would work. And of course, at the end of the day, it's a case by case basis. But ideally, the oldest I think that would work for me is maybe like mid to late 30s. I feel like 37 is probably where I cap it at. 37, 38 it feels like pushing it. And the youngest I'd probably go is 20, 21. That's just me.
You said I just made the cut. Fuck.
Like I said, when it comes down to it, it's a case by case basis. You're different. You have a more mature head on your shoulders. We have a lot in common, a lot to talk about. We have a lot of the same interests, which is why I said it's a case by case basis. I almost said bacus because I can't speak English.
We fumbling the words today. I tell you.
Hey, bro, I never said I was a linguist, nor am I the best at speech. However, I'm still gonna talk my talk. It is what it is.
That's a like a $45 word you just used.
Hey, man. Oh, linguist. Oh, dead, yo. Hey, I'm saying I gotta show people I went to college and still am. You know what I mean? But
I'm gonna say you still a college student.
If ma'am,
I graduated
college, but that's
and I'm not going back.
It's a whole nother conversation in itself. Fucking college, but
you just got so triggered. I'm so sorry.
Oh nah, we cool. But yeah, this is me, man. At the end of the day, it's personality. It's what we may have in common and vibe. I'm a big guy about vibes, bro. Something that you can feel for real. Just having a conversation with a person to see if you feel like your wavelengths is on the same level or you're on completely different sides of the spectrum. You know what I mean? I don't know. That's just me. What you think?
Clearly I think the same thing.
No.
But only because, like I said, there's an age gap between me and you. Mm-hmm. And I was actually talking about this with Chrissy, I believe. Is who I can recall I was having a conversation with. It could have been in the court, but I specifically remember Chrissy being there. Between the ages of 23 and 27, right, a lot happens. Mm-hmm. So when I say 23, 24, you know, people really try to do that 24, 25, them 2 years. People really kind of cast that out of their mind because you really still building on things you were when you were 23. But for some reason, when you hit 26, you're a completely different person. I'm not going to say for some reason, because of those 3 years coming towards it. When you turn 26, you're a completely different person for real.
Because there's no more young adult anymore. You've passed halfway through your 20s.
You're halfway through it. So now you're an adult, basically. Yeah. So 23 really 24 and 25 really get lumped in with 23 just because those 3 years kind of blend together for real. I know they are for me, bitch. I know that. Because for those of y'all who don't know, I turned 24 in March.
Correct.
So, but I feel what everybody who's the people who I talk to on a daily, so like you, Chrissy, all my like friends who are not older but older than me, I see what y'all mean when you talk about this age gap, and it really is because those 2 years before you turn 26 really blend in with that 23 because you trying to get focused, you trying to get stabilized, you trying to do all that. And in that mindset alone, you're not going to be looking majority of the time for people who are younger than you as far as friends go. Simply because
the stuff the younger folks is into at that time, we off that. Well, those years
right.
is over. It's behind us at that point.
If you've lived your teenage life or your early 20 life, and when I say early 20, I mean literally 23 is the cap. You have done the going out, you done did the being on every scene, you done did all that. And if you were that type of person, or you know, even if you just wanted to get that experience out, you've done that already. So you really, even if you weren't a homebody to begin with, you a homebody now. Or you I'm not finna, you put it like this, you can't know you got an opening shift and then be out till 5 a.m. You're not gonna do that.
Nah.
It's one of them type beats. So that's why you tend, when you get into that age bracket for real, you're not particularly fond of being friends with anybody that's younger than you if you're not already friends with them.
Right.
And if they are younger than you, they have the same mindset as you, more than likely. So, and if they don't, then y'all are either, I don't want to say not that cool anymore, but y'all don't hang out as much.
Right.
Because you're trying to do stuff that we're on two different wavelengths, and they'll sync up eventually, hopefully. But if they don't, it is what it is. Right. So you're not looking for, but you're tend to be drawn to people that are older than you. But in my personal experience, not past 26. Because when you get past 26, you looking at your 30s.
Yeah, man.
And when you're looking at your 30s, you feel like, especially in our generation, there are still quite a few of us, and I was one of these people not even a year ago that was like, bitch, I'm going to be looking at my 30s and I haven't done a damn thing.
Yeah, because for some reason you feel like you're supposed to have it all together by your 30s, which is complete cap. Which is another thing why I don't see myself really being cool with a lot of younger folk, because people don't get that. When you're 18, you feel like, oh my gosh, I'm about to be 21. I'm supposed to be married with kids, have my own house, and have my career done by 21, 22. No. Are you kidding me?
Right. And
it's just
like,
going into college, bro.
That mindset comes from people before us literally being financially stable enough to buy a house and 3 kids at 21. So it's coming from that, and then it's also coming from the get rich quickers who are doing it seemingly successfully.
Oh, and the internet don't help. Like all these 18, 19-year-olds who are buying mansions right now.
You got the older generation that is literally doing this is on paper. I was financially stable enough to do XYZ. I can't do that. And then you got the internet for people who are literally getting rich off of existing, basically.
Yo, facts.
Because I cannot name half of what the influencers on the internet, all these people that everybody know their name, I cannot name one thing that these people do that I personally think you should be getting paid for. Like, I really, correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, in the chat, correct me if I'm wrong. If you are not, like I was just about to say that, if this is not your money, because one thing I will say, a lot of the influencers come from very financially stable homes.
Yeah, over the top percenters, like top 1%.
Right. Very much.
There's still some of the folks, at least in the Black content creator community, that's at the top rungs that work for their stuff. Like
very much.
King Batch, before King Batch blew up, he was a waiter at freaking Red Lobster. Freaking who else? I mean, he's not Black, but Bashy XP. From what he says, before he blew up on YouTube and became the big star that he is now on the internet, he was working at a grocery store. See what I'm saying? So not everybody is necessarily built from the mold that Juice is talking about, but as far as like these like 10 million plus subs on YouTube, a million everywhere else type folk, they weren't that much struggling before this. You know what I'm saying? They're pretty solid. Really,
beforehand, you could have not done this and you would have been cool.
Right.
Is what I'm saying.
Exactly.
But to get back on topic, that's one of the things about friendship age gaps. Mine personally aren't that. They'll grow as I grow. So that's why I'm like, for me personally, I'm 30 at the oldest, and that's just because those are the people that I've been around. I'm doing that based off like my cousins and stuff like that, people that are my age that I know I have common thoughts with. So I'm looking at like 30 at the oldest. Anybody that's younger than me, clearly you have a mentality like I do, because I don't. Oof. We don't know how I feel about children. So
Lord. For folks who are new here, she's not very fond of children. Not at
I
all.
am not. Once they get past a certain age, I'm not trying to be around them until they get. Oof, it's a big age too. That age gap is humongous. Once they get to like 10, I'm cool till they are adults.
Oh Lord.
I'm so serious.
That's tough.
Because I'm like, oh my God, bro. They're all adorable if I can give them back. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's
but you
tough.
know,
Not you renting children.
Whoa, that sounds so crazy.
They sound crazy, but that's what's that's what's
crazy,
big,
bro.
I was like, it's cool if I can give them back. Like you having children on a trial run, nigga? Is Amazon Prime?
That's an insane statement. It's not Amazon. Okay. That said, I'm not gonna hold you. That was a perfect time for you to make a Wayfair joke.
Oh no, I ain't gonna do that one. I ain't gonna do that one. No sir. We trying to get started here. We trying to get started here. The podcast is only on 2 episodes, bro. We can't do that, bro.
But anyway, yeah, that's where I'm looking as far as friendship age gaps go. They will move as I'm moving.
Actually, I'm glad you said that, because that segues straight into the next topic, bro. Question for everybody, because once again, this is me just going about my business. I was scrolling through TikTok, all right, and there's a certain creator that I follow. Of course, they haven't done anything, but they put out lighthearted content. You know what I'm saying? Like goofy dances or whatever the case is, a lot of bright colors or whatever the case is. And I'm going through the comments. Now, I gotta really be interested in your content on TikTok for me to pull up your comments and see what people are saying. I don't do that for everybody. It's kind of just, I see it, oh, I like it, double tap, scroll to the next one. But I really enjoy her content. So once again, lighthearted, positive stuff. So I'm looking at the comments, and there's a couple people in there that's like, this is really what you put out? Grow up. So I'm like, it posed the question in my head, which I'm going to pose to all of y'all. What does it mean to grow up? Because I hear that a lot. I don't think a lot of people talk about it. Especially, I think our generation, as far as millennials and everyone after us, are starting to have that conversation. But it's not as prominent as it needs to be. Because there's a lot of, if we participate in certain activities or spend our time doing certain things, for real, all of a sudden it's quote unquote childish and we need to be doing other things. So it's like, if we're not breaking our back 7 days a week and working 80 hours, we're not doing our quote unquote adult duty that we need to be doing. Because apparently my life matters to you, to where it affects you to a certain point, to where whatever I'm doing is going to mess up your bag or something. So you want to tell me how to live my life. But
and on the flip side of that, you also have 9 times out of 10 those same people saying, you work too much. You work too much. You never have time for a hobby or to go out or blah, 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 or y'all really ain't got no friends or something like that. And it's like, or they're on some, y'all got to make appointments to see y'all friends. Yes. Yes.
Which I think, because I'm glad you brought that up. And I'm gonna let you continue, of course, but I want to make this point clear. After hearing what you're saying, does that paint the contradiction of what being an adult is for y'all? Because I think it does. We have to be working all the time, but at the same time, we need to have hobbies and be this all around great person. There's not enough time in the day. There's only 24 hours in a day. There's only 7 days in a week, 30 to 31 days in a month, 365 days a year.
And for us some of that time, I'm gonna be asleep.
Exactly. That takes
I need to sleep.
That takes away a lot of time right there. Because, all right, we'll just stick with the day for now. 24 hours in a day. According to science, we need 8 hours of sleep. So we'll just say that. There's only 16 hours in the day. Mind you, I'll just take away an hour in the morning for you to get yourself ready for the day, an hour at night for you to get ready for sleep. That's 14 hours a day that we have to do what we have to do. If you're a full-time worker, there goes another 8 hours. That's a shift. So now we're looking at 6 hours? If I did the math right.
6 hours.
6 hours.
And let's say 6 hours, you got an hour to get home. So 5.
Hour or 2, depending where you live.
Hour or 2 to get home. So let's say traffic. You roughly 4 or 5 hours. Tell me, we gonna use the average work week. Thanks, Tom Ford. We gonna use the average work week. You telling me 5 days out of the week, I only have 4 hours of free time. And if I am, let's say it's me, 23, I ain't got no kids, I ain't got no, whatever. Mm-hmm. I have 5 hours after working an 8-hour shift to do what exactly?
Oh, let's modernize it. Because now, one ideology that's very prominent, especially thanks to the internet, is the side hustle game.
So let's add that into your work week, because that's what it is. That's a job.
Yes,
so
exactly.
Now you're adding. Damn, this really my life. Now you're adding in. Matter of fact, we gonna use me as an example. I work roughly 8 to 9 hour shifts. Mm-hmm. I work 4 or 5 days a week just because that's how restaurants work,
Crap. Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna give y'all my average work week. Thursday through Sunday, I am at work almost all day. Mm-hmm. And when I say almost all day, I have to be there at 3. We close at 10. I still gotta clean up after.
Mm-hmm. So you're not really leaving till like 11:30, maybe.
So that's
midnight.
Thursday through Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
Monday, I have this podcast. Monday or Tuesday.
Yeah,
now, depending on what day,
y'all. So
right,
bear with us.
Monday,
we'll get it together
we gonna say Monday.
Yeah,
Monday, I have this podcast. Love it to death. It's my second baby. Mm-hmm. Because my first baby is my business. Mm-hmm. My first baby is Enjoy Confections. So
for
let's
folks
say,
who don't know, go follow at Enjoy Confections on Instagram.
So let's
the letter
say
N, Joy Confections.
We got a full work week. We do lovely pod on Monday. I still got to stream on Wednesday. Still got to cook for y'all on Twitch. Mm-hmm. So Monday, if I'm not too tired, I have to get up and go get the stuff for stream. So that way I can stream on Wednesday. So that way Tuesday, you think I can rest? No, I have cookie orders to do. Mm. Cookie orders that I have to bake. I'm at home now. Let's say average order. Let's say we're doing Sed's order. Mm. I have 3 dozen cookies to make, to mix, bake, package presentably, and ship off in a timely manner, because I still have a reputation to uphold. Mm-hmm. That's a day in itself. Because cooking take time. I can't package them while they hot. Then I have to, if need be, prep for stream the next day. Get up the next day for stream day. So in a 7-day week, my average week, I have 4 hours of free time.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Because it's all variables. Because stuff
This is
happens. It's
this
human
is a
life.
straight
So
through week. This is a straight through week. Don't nobody need to do nothing don't nobody need me to do nothing at the last minute. Don't nobody need me to go out of my way to do anything. I have 4 hours of non-work related free time, and that's if I choose to make them non-work related.
right.
Because I can spend that 4 hours writing recipes in this book. I can spend that 4 hours doing research for whatever I want to make, just so that way I can be ahead for next stream. I could be adding more cookies to the menu. I could be networking. I could be doing anything with these 4 hours. But they my 4 hours to do whatever I want with. They're not dictated by anything.
And they're not
That's an
sectioned for a
average
certain
week.
time in the day as well. We can spread
These
these
are not
hours apart throughout the day.
these 4 hours are probably not even consecutive.
Exactly. We just end up at 4 hours by the time we go to sleep.
By the time I go to sleep.
So we may get 1 extra hour that may be counted in, that's taken away because there's heavy traffic in the morning before I get to work. That's 1 hour taken away. Maybe we gotta spend an extra half hour at work cleaning up in the kitchen. And tell me if I'm wrong in any of these points that I'm making here, Juice, of course, because obviously it's your life.
Never.
But half hour extra taken away from our free time because we got to finish cleaning up this kitchen and then drive home. So there goes that second hour.
I live in Atlanta. Can't nobody drive up here. I work in restaurants. I work in restaurants for a living. Don't nobody give a fuck if you coming in at the last minute.
At all.
Especially since it's not my place of business. I just work here. I'm in charge. It's my kitchen, but I work here.
Shoot, we can even take it into the realm of a college student. Because if there's anything that I think is underrated as far as work ethic and time management, is the time of a college student. I've had many times where people may walk in the middle of my study session where I'm taking a break because I know how my mental works. And people just love to assume that I haven't done anything all day. Now, let me break this down for y'all. For folks who haven't been to college or haven't been there in a while, who don't know the quote unquote recommended work structure that a college student should participate in. Apparently, for every credit hour that you have, as far as classes are concerned, you're supposed to be studying 2 hours. So for folks who don't know how credit hours work, if you're a full-time student, on average, you're registered for 12 credit hours. Now, each class is usually three to 4 credits. So you're looking at 3 to 4 classes. So that means within that week that you may have, you're supposed to be studying for 24 hours throughout the week, apparently. Now, most college students are working a full-time job on top of that. So that's 40 hours out of the week, which is literally the whole description that Juice just gave you. On top of that, having to take maybe, let's say the lectures for each one of these classes are 3 hours, right?
I was just going to say, we add in class time too?
Exactly. So we're saying each lecture is 3 hours. So that's 12 hours added to the 40 hours for the full-time job. On top of that, we're supposed to be having 24 hours throughout the week where we should be studying. Mm-hmm. And then on top of that, they encourage you to be active on campus and going to all of these events and all this kinds of stuff. So maybe you're socializing, you're having friends, you're trying to organize time for friends to hang out or whatever the case is. You're going to college events or whatever the case. Just so y'all can understand, let me pull up my calculator because I'm going to calculate this. We got, where's my calculator? Here's a calculator. So 24 times 7. That's 168 hours, right? Yeah. Minus our 24 hours of studying. Mm-hmm. Minus our 12 hours of lecture time. Minus our 40 hours of work time. Good Lord, where'd it go? Stop it. All right, start over. Can we take it away? Oh, I hate it here. But minus our 24 hours of study time, correct? Minus our 12 hours of lecture time, minus our 40 hours of work time, minus. So we're at 92, right? Keep me at 92 because I gotta do 92. This. So 8 hours because we gotta sleep for 8 hours. Times 7, that's 56, right? 92 minus 56, that's our time sleeping. So we have 36 hours left for the week, right? We haven't even counted any social events or maybe extracurriculars. Maybe you live in Greek life on college campus. Greek life is already a commitment in itself.
Oh my fucking God.
So there's a lot of niggas. And once again, excuse me for my French, but there's a lot of people who are out here hustling during their college career and nobody likes to give credit for it because, you know, it's college. You're not working for real yet. All right. So we're at 36. And the only reason I'm not calculating in social events and maybe Greek life, or whatever the case is, because those are all variables. There's no way I can give you
Greek life is
an average.
Greek life is a 4-year-long social event.
Bro, I'm telling you. I'm telling you.
Oh my God.
So even if you're not doing Greek life, we'll say that. If you're participating in a lot of these other events throughout these semesters, and we're not calculating for commuters because most of college students these days are commuters. Not everybody lives on campus. So that's not calculating in our time going to and from your apartment or to and from home if you're still living with parents. What time do you have for yourself?
Oh, we talking about time to ourselves at the end of all? Oh.
At the end of all this. What time?
The time that you sleep.
That's the crazy part.
The time that you're asleep.
Which is why I have a problem with people like fucking Kevin Samuels.
Ooh.
And all these other folks that like to be in that realm, thinking that I'm supposed to be working 60 hours a week in order for me to be living the life that I'm supposed to be living. Y'all love to dismiss mental health because you think mental health is not being affected by all of these hours that it's always on blast.
My thing is, what is the life that I'm supposed to be living?
It's supposed to be
you telling me, rock with me real quick, y'all. You're telling me the life that I'm supposed to be living. The life that I'm supposed to be living or the life that you want for me. Because those are two different things. And one of them I could give less than a hot fuck about. So this goes back to what you were saying earlier. Why do what the fuck I'm doing matter to you that much?
I'm telling you. Because what y'all like to not talk about, for all my quote unquote adults out there, since apparently I'm childish, what y'all like to not talk about is the crazy mental complications, trauma, and mental health that's in the dumpster that all y'all have, that y'all trying to tell me how to live life like y'all, so I have the same complications. But y'all gonna say just because you breathe in and you're able to put your one foot in front of the other, you're all right, right? Right?
Right.
But then y'all forget that y'all picking up shit like osteoporosis, arthritis, all these other physical conditions because of all the wear and tear you put on your bodies in your 20s, which is supposed to be your hustle years, quote unquote. And by the time you 50, you feel like you 80. But you won't tell me that because you didn't get shot or something, you're successful.
Depending on how you live your life, baby, you might look like it.
Seriously? Then this is why I have a podcast, because I can go off about shit like this. Because y'all don't make no fucking sense to me at all. Because what you're painting is, you wish for me to have all these physical and mental complications and conditions because apparently you're making enough money that you never get to really spend anyway, because we're living check to check anyway.
Because not only do you want me to live like that, you want me to live in the nice part of town, in the best apartment or house or whatever, and have the sweetest decor and all this other stuff. You want me to be doing all of this for a house I'm probably not even gonna see 4 or 5 days out the week.
Bro,
because you want me to be doing all this in order to maintain it.
Exactly, bro. And not to knock anybody who is living check to check, because there's many people who are living that lifestyle who are happy with that. But the point I'm trying to make here is, at least they're happy. A lot of y'all that are trying to force this lifestyle on the younger folk hate y'all fucking lives. I do.
And because you hate yours, you want me to hate mine.
Exactly. And that's the issue.
You want us to be equally miserable because you don't want to be miserable by yourself.
Because y'all want to know which hobbies that y'all picked up, that y'all encouraging me to pick up, since I need hobbies. The hobbies y'all picked up is buying a 12-pack of beer to go sit and watch TV, watching Wheel of Fortune. Y'all see a commercial of fucking Beyonce, or even better, seeing someone like Alisa Cara, who's way younger. I hate that they don't understand what it means to hard work, and y'all got lucky, and sit there and spend the rest of y'all week thinking about that. How they made it, how they have so much money, how they living so stress-free, how they doing this, that, and the other thing. That's y'all hobby. Complaining. And y'all love to talk about how younger people love to complain, but that's because y'all trying to force these fucking... what would I even call these mechanisms, for lack of a better term, these social mechanisms as well as life mechanisms upon us, and say that we're complaining because we don't want that. Of course I don't fucking want that.
Excuse me for not wanting to be bitter, babe. I'm not finna sit up here and be angry with you. I'm not.
Serious.
I'm not finna sit up here and sacrifice my mental health because I'm around you all the time.
Because here's the facts. Real facts. Modern facts. These days, many companies don't look for college degrees anymore. So those 4 to 6 years of stressing that I just described to y'all earlier, not that long ago, is really not even needed. You can take yourself to a trade school for half the time, half the money, and have actual on-the-job training by the time that you leave, and have the experience that they're looking for in these companies anyway, because they're looking for experience, not college degrees, because people finally learn that a piece of paper does not mean that your work ethic is there.
Damn sure don't. It means you went to school and you paid attention just enough, maybe.
And on top of that, if you want to talk about the workforce, if there's anything that the pandemic has proven, working from home has boosted up productivity way more than it's ever have been. So you tell me if the way that y'all live life, and y'all like to force us to try and live life, is the way to go. Prove it to me. Cause y'all killing me. Y'all killing me with this shit, bro.
Cause this the same generation of people that don't want to get divorced for the sake of their kids, but you go argue in front of them.
And then go cry in the shower with a big cup of wine, wondering why, Lord, have you put me in this, like you still go to church.
And then wonder why when your kids get older, they don't want to be around y'all.
Or just stick you in a home at the moment that they have the chance.
Oof. You know what I mean?
And dare I say this, your children and the children's children are way more socially aware and smart than any of you parents are. Because all the generations before millennials, to be honest, y'all became bots. Y'all let y'all parents turn y'all into bots. Which, to be honest, you guys, generations before millennials, I don't remember the name, forgive me.
X, Y,
is it Gen X?
Boomer.
Is it X or
the generation before millennial? I believe
millennials,
it was X. I believe it was X, yeah.
Either way. Well, we'll go with X for now. We may be wrong.
X.
Correct us in the comments or in the live chat if you would like to, but don't kill us for it. Gen X is the first generation that honestly saw the problems, But millennials are the first generations to do something about it. Because Gen X has became the generation of complaining for real. Let's be honest. Y'all seen the problem that y'all parents went through. Y'all knew y'all didn't want that. But y'all just like, well, what else are we going to do? I guess I'm going to do it. Then you go through it. You hate it. You complain about it. And then don't understand that all those mental complications and those habits of complaining and what you hate and whatever the case is will leak into how you raise your children. And thank goodness for millennials, it was like, hey, yo, that's not cool, yo. You for real? We not serious. You're not serious.
Not all of a sudden we complaining. We too sensitive.
Oh yeah, that's what the millennials have been labeled as, the lazy generation.
We sensitive and lazy.
We sensitive. All we do is eat avocado toast and shit.
And buy apartments we can't afford.
Buy apartments that we can't afford. Even though y'all niggas
can't afford
is the ones. And drink ice coffee.
I don't know who got this rumor started that my generation don't drink water. But oh my god!
Oh, y'all don't see this bottle. Well, for folks, once again, twitch.tv/Cedric the Gamer. When these streams get back, y'all gonna see this thick ass bottle. Shout out to Light Fury 101 that I've been filling up probably 10 times a day, and I literally probably drink 1.5 gallons of water these days. Even though I drank a lot of water before, but these days, thanks to this bottle, bro, I'm a waterbed, bro.
Oh man.
But we drink water, okay?
Like who got this started that my generation don't drink water?
And the crazy part is that I find this hilarious. The part that I find hilarious is Gen Z. I believe Gen Z right now is the ones becoming 18 and up right now, 18, 21, around those times right now. Mm-hmm. I think those are the ones that are really starting to grow up right now. Gen Z is getting all the accolades for what we did.
No, literally. Like, that's why we hate them so much.
That's why, to be honest, that's why millennials hate Gen Z so much. Personally, I really don't care. But I feel it. I get it. But what a lot of people don't like to look is Gen Z is following in our footsteps, and being that we paved the wave now, we took all the heat. We took all the collateral damage. We did all of that. Now that y'all can walk on this danger-free road.
The older sibling to them.
Literally.
We're the older sibling to them. And what y'all don't know, if y'all don't understand when I say the older sibling to them, if you're not an only child and you got at least one younger sibling, we'll say 2 for the real effect.
Right.
Okay. You are the guinea pig because you're your parents' first kid. You get all the rules. You get all the stipulations. You get all the punishment. You get all that. Now, your sibling after you, they get what you got, but a little bit less. But you are still getting backlash if they do something wrong. Still. Now, your third, the baby, I don't care what family you're in, black, white, whatever, your youngest child can and will get away with murder.
Boy.
Can and will get away with murder simply because at that point, depending on who your parents are, that's your kid.
Mm-hmm.
So, not only are you getting backlash if the middle child do something, you definitely getting in trouble if that little nigga do something.
Because apparently I just have the experiencing of parenting now. I have that under my belt, apparently.
Definitely getting, especially if the age gap is more than like 3 years. Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. You getting all that. All of it.
Because apparently I'm supposed to do your job.
And then when you look at them like they're crazy. When you look at them like they're crazy.
Here's the funny part. This is how you bring the conversation full circle. You look at us like we're supposed to be parents because you're too busy working this 40-hour week and doing everything that you're not supposed to be doing because you're not supposed to be doing that. You remember what we just talked about? That's the reason why.
Mm-hmm.
Stop really killing me with it. I'm getting turned. Let me chill. I'm getting turned.
Y'all heard him lean back in the chair just now? Boy,
Bro,
he tight.
yeah, boy, you getting me turned. So I'm gonna chill. But the reason that we need to have these conversations is to show y'all this, how would I say it? This map to quote unquote life that has been embedded in society is not the move. There's a lot that is not the move anymore these days, but that's a whole nother conversation, to be honest. Education can be a whole fucking podcast episode on itself. But
this alone, the work week, the thought of growing up, because remember, y'all, that's the original question, even though this all pertains to all that.
Right.
The mindset of quote unquote growing up differs with every person. It differs with every experience. And the generations before us, because not just our parents, motherfuckers before them, because that's why they act the way they act.
Yeah, exactly.
Are trying to imprint on us what they went through, and we not going for it no more. And that make them angry.
Very much.
Because they are used to, I'm not even going to say you not listening. You questioning equals disrespect.
Right.
And it's not. I'm just trying to figure out why. And because I said so is not a reason.
That used to get me so hot as a kid, bro, because I said so. That's not you're not explaining anything, Mom.
You're not explaining
anything.
You're not explaining. You're just making me not want to talk to you or ask you anything ever.
And then get mad that I don't talk to you. Like, what the fuck? I don't get it.
Like, what?
Bro, if there's anything that ever got me so hot before, and it still happens to this day, where my mom will come in or whatever the case is, start an argument that may get very loud as far as volume is concerned, and then come in 2 minutes later talking about you want something to eat? Bro, I don't like you right now. What are you doing in my room?
Because that's her version of apologizing. Also, this is my last thing on it, because I see I'm looking at how long we running.
Yeah.
And I realize where we gotta go.
Right.
Learn to apologize. Like, our parents do not know how to apologize. And I don't know if it's just to us or to people that are younger than them in general. Our parents do not know how to apologize by simply saying, I'm sorry. You would think saying, I'm sorry, I was wrong, anything along the lines of that, you would think you getting your nails pulled out or something. Your teeth pulled, whatever. Making my favorite food, offering me food, saying, do you want to go to the store with me? Any of that shit after you done gave me your ass to kiss for literally no reason. After I'm everything but a child of God for literally no reason, or because of this one minor thing that I didn't do. Okay, you don't like having to repeat yourself, that's fine. But you're doing too much. You're doing too much. And now you just spent the last 45 minutes to an hour yelling at me unnecessarily, bringing up all this other shit that wasn't even a problem. And then when I decide I'm not finna fuck with you for the rest of the night, I'm finna go in my room and be to myself or whatever, make me, not feel like I'm finna pull my hair out. You want to constantly poke your head in here and see what's wrong with me. Like we didn't just have this interaction just now. You want to make sure I'm okay, quote unquote, when in actuality, you just, I don't know, making sure I'm not plotting on you or something. I don't know. I really don't.
So literally, just to tie it all up in a nice little bow, what does it mean to grow up? Because I know Juice just answered it for herself. As far as I'm concerned, that term doesn't necessarily exist. Mm-mm. There's 50-year-olds till this day still trying to figure it out. The parents that we just dissected for y'all down to the DNA of it, as far as parenting is concerned, they're still trying to figure it out till this day. But for some reason, I think it's a whole pride thing. I think it's a human thing. Nobody wants to say that they're still trying to figure it out. I have no problem saying that, bro. I'm just taking it day by day and what I see that I'm interested in or trying to figure out that I've seen has been successful for other folks, that's what I'm doing. That's really all I'm doing, man. For real. Everyone's still trying to figure it out. So when people say it's time for you to grow up, that doesn't exist. Nobody's grown for real. At least the grown that y'all have a definition for. And for y'all folks that are going around telling younger folk to grow up, look in the mirror first.
Are you grown up?
Not even if you're growing up. Are you even together? Are you the one to come tell me how to live my life? Because y'all killing me with that shit. Y'all really killing me, man. Anyway, where we heading to next, Juice? What's next on the agenda?
To the fun part of the cast.
Yeah.
Step away from the seriousness that we begin with, just so we can end with something or some things. Because I got some hefty notes for y'all.
Oh.
We finna talk about food.
Yo, we love food.
You feel me? So, first things first, our last little technical spiel, our last little informational moment that we're giving y'all. Pop-Tarts is getting sued again. And when I say again, for those of you who don't know, yes, Pop-Tarts has been sued before. They have. Partially for the same reason that they're getting sued right now. But let me give y'all this article given to me by Fast Company, okay? Title of the article says, "The Strawberry Pop-Tarts lawsuit is no joke. Mislabeling by Big Food is a real problem." And it is. It is. So, a woman in New York has filed a seemingly overambitious sounding lawsuit alleging that Kellogg's Strawberry Pop-Tarts falsely claim to have more strawberries than they actually do. The complaints claim that the product contains far more pears and apples than strawberries, as evidenced by even the nutrition label on the back, which lists dried pears, dried apples, and many artificial ingredients before strawberries appear. Now, for those of y'all who don't know how nutrition labels work, when you read the back of something and, it's showing you the ingredients and all that, they're listed in order of the amount that they're in that product. So whatever is first, obviously, that's what's in there the most, and so on. So clearly, according to this lady, it wasn't enough strawberry in her strawberry Pop-Tarts. So the woman, Elizabeth Russet, argues that this is, quote, false, deceptive, and misleading. Okay? She asked for a jury trial and is seeking damages in the amount of $5 million under the Class Action Fairness Act. She said, "You're going to shoot for the moon."
Which, and not to cut you off, for my folks who don't care for like articles and stuff like that, I'm going to sum it down for you. Old girl had a strawberry Pop-Tart that don't taste like it got strawberry in it. She said, "Y'all, get this shit together or give me my money back.
Get this shit together.
Or give me my money back."
So, on the first read, this may sound like another frivolous suit akin to the one filed against Starbucks, or one of the many, I should say, also demanding $5 million in damages, that said that the coffee chain was ripping customers off by putting too much ice in their iced drinks.
Oh.
But it also points to a legitimate problem growing in America's food system. The problem of food companies deceptively marketing products to make them sound better than they are.
Perfect example. Y'all be seeing them McDonald's and Burger King commercials, and them Whoppers and Big Macs look like giants. Then when you actually get one, they look like SpongeBob done stepped on that hoe.
What's crazy is, I was just gonna say, you eat with your eyes and your ears first, okay? So your sensory is there, and once you done bought it, you gonna eat it at that point because you done spent your money on it.
Right.
So, Russet and her lawyer, a frequent litigator with a flurry of recent plaintiffs, many of them advocacy groups for this same thing, are hoping to sue Big Food into quitting these misleading practices because in their eyes, mislabeling is a food giant's way to exploit new consumer trends, aka healthy eating, enviro-friendly agriculture, ethical sourcing, stuff like that, without having to make an actual change. So a decade ago, there were less than 50 class actions, per year filed against a food company. But a survey in February from the law firm Perkins and Coy found that this year alone, they hit a record high of 220.
Oh.
And Russet Lawsuits details how Kellogg's also uses, quote, vegetable juice for color and paprika extract for color to give strawberry Pop-Tarts their unnatural red coloring. Then argues this alleged ruse results in consumers overpaying, being that berries in general, but strawberries specifically, on average, cost 50% more than pears. So basically what she's saying here is, in order to keep from paying for this expensive ass fruit, even though it's the main flavor in this product, we just gonna make it look a little bit more red and add some more pears. I'm just saying, because berries as a whole are not easy to grow. You gotta cultivate, you gotta grow berries, blackberries, raspberries, berries, period, for like 2 years before they're even fit for consumption. Gotcha. So I understand, but at the same time, not my problem, bit dog. You chose this. So you chose this. So among other recent complaints, there are complaints alleging that food conglomerate Carbo misleads consumers by prominently describing their turkeys as, quote, raised by independent family farmers, and 2 lawsuits contending that Sargento cheeses with no antibiotics, we done all seen the commercials, are actually made with milk from cows that are given those drugs. So that's a blatant lie.
Oh Lord.
The more aggressive civil litigations by consumers and consumer groups also extends to complaints about the welfare of animals, workers being misstated, or about greenwashing products so that way they sound more environmentally sustainable. Lord. Food companies always argue in court that these lawsuits are meritless, and often they win. Kellogg's declined to comment, but told Fast Company its Pop-Tarts labels are, quote, fully comply with all legal requirements. And I'm going to touch on that when I'm done. But lately, consumer advocacy groups have tried pressuring the federal government into acting. The Biden administration initially took some measures through the FTC and the FDA to address misleading food marketing claims. But, activists argue more sweeping changes are needed. Members of Congress have also recently taken up the cause to crack down on food mislabeling. A bill was introduced in August to create a standardized set of symbols on packages so that way they can convey whether the food is healthy or not. Right. The law would also force companies to state ingredients more clearly. For example, how much whole grain is in a loaf of bread. And federal regulators also, for the first time, would actually be required to define the term healthy.
That's a big one.
It is. That is a very big one. Because you look on your labels and you see a lot of natural spice, artificial flavoring, blase blah, stuff like that. A lot of grams
of different things that they say your body needs.
Right. And it's not a lot of times that companies take the time to break down what that is. There are some companies that do. Some companies have started doing that, where they break down, if you got natural spice, you got parentheses, and it's blase, blase, blase. But it's a lot of companies, particularly Kellogg's, Post, all these big companies that aren't really doing that because they don't feel like they have to, because the FDA isn't making them.
Yeah, they big boys. They big boys, so they think they run the industry. So when we ain't got to do all that, boys, yeah.
This is the top cereal company in the world. I'm not worried about that shit. So there's that. And if we're being perfectly honest, like I said, this is not the first time that Pop-Tarts has been sued. Like Light Fury 101 said in the chat, they've also been sued over frosting. That was an extremely frivolous one. It didn't even make it to court. They just said we're sorry, take a year's supply of Pop-Tarts.
Oh wow, I did not
Yeah,
know
that
that one.
is. Oh yes, that is why. Because they tried to scale it back to, make the product healthier. Because remember when we were younger, Pop-Tarts had hella
them
frosting
boys
on them.
was sweet,
Hella frosting,
boy.
and they were super sweet. So when Pop-Tarts took a step back and was like, "We gonna go the whole grain, less frosting route," this one particular person did not like that. So that is why certain ones, not all of them, certain ones have gone back to the original frosting style. Strawberry specifically, but strawberry also has like 3 other alterations to it.
Like
strawberry got regular, strawberry got whole grain, strawberry got unfrosted, all because of this one lawsuit.
Like, just to paint a picture for y'all, just how this food industry works. Look at cereal. For my folks here who are avid cereal eaters or cereal enthusiasts, I'll put it. We've all noticed that a lot of our favorite cereals have changed their recipe and does not taste the same over courses of years. They've probably changed the recipe multiple times. We've talked about it before in our communities. Look at Honey Nut Cheerios.
Literally, prime example.
For my folks who's with us in the early 2000s, Honey Nut Cheerios in the early 2000s is not the Honey Nut Cheerios we have today.
No, it's not.
At all.
Not nearly the same. It's not as, I don't even want to say it's not as sweet. They've implemented, from what I've done in food research, when I do these, when I read into it, they actually are putting more whole grain into the cereal. So
and less
it's
like
thicker.
Sugary. Gotcha.
It's thicker. It's not as sweet. And instead of them putting sugar into it, they're glazing the cereal beforehand.
Which they should have done in the first place.
Exactly. But
folks still running around saying that these industries ain't literally making people fatter. Yes, they are. Do you hear?
Absolutely.
Do you hear? They do this on purpose.
Absolutely. But this is a read that I thought would be interesting for y'all, just because I look in depth into the food scene when it comes to stuff like this, just because I know of the things that are going on behind the scenes in these companies. And when these lawsuits and stuff come out, yes, this was a frivolous act in the short-term span of it. The broad spectrum of this lawsuit is extremely beneficial.
Which, by the way, I'll try to have links of everything that we talked about today in the description down below. So
in the description down below,
it should be there right now. If not, it'll be there very soon. So check it out.
Because this particular lawsuit is finally making food giants that nobody really thinks of. Because when you think of mistreatment in the food industry, you think meat.
Right.
You think animals. Nobody really thinks of workers or anything like that, because this is not the Iron Age no more, nothing like that. You think you work in a factory is cool. Right. No. It's still funky in there. It's still not top tier in there anymore, bro. It was for a time, and it's not no more. And this was really up until recently. This isn't some 10-year stuff. Right. Kellogg's was a very good company to work for until recently. Okay? So this is one of those things where the FDA is going to have to start making these companies accountable for what they're doing. And Light, I'm glad you brought that up, because I was just about to say, if you would like a glimpse into the in-depth of the food scene, there is this book called The Jungle, written by Upton Sinclair, that takes place in the meatpacking district. So you want to give that a read. I have it. I read it in my freshman year of high school. Excellent book. It gives you a very good in-depth look of what this is.
Or if you've never really looked into the food industry at all, there's plenty of documentaries these days talking about the effects of it. I'm sure the popular ones that I can tell you off the top of my head: Super Size Me, Food Inc. There's some other ones. I had another one on the top of my head. I can't. It's not coming to mind right now. But those two alone, very
If you
popular
have
ones.
Netflix, check out the show Rotten.
That too. If you've never looked into the food industry before, like behind the scenes, check those out.
You definitely should. You definitely should. Now, into the more fun aspects.
Oh shit!
It's getting cold outside.
Yo,
which means
icy.
it's time for sweets. It's time for sweets all year. But
Yo.
we all know when it get cold, you want to bake. And y'all like cocoa? Y'all fuck with cocoa?
Oh yeah, yes sir.
You like
Hot
cocoa, Twin?
Oh yes sir. I love hot cocoa. I haven't had it in a while, but I do fuck with it.
Are you a Swiss Miss person?
This is the only. Remember, for folks who don't know, I'm Haitian. So when it comes to hot chocolate that Haitians buy, it's only Swiss Miss. What other hot chocolate you've heard a Haitian buy? For real?
I mean,
It's only been Swiss Miss in my history, at
for
least.
all the Swiss Miss lovers out there, my twin being included, Swiss Miss has dove into the collab game this season.
Yes, sir.
Okay? Because normally, Swiss Miss, they do their little flavors and they out. They cool. Swiss Miss has not one, but 2 collabs coming this whole season. Okay? One with Cocoa Puffs.
Oh.
Okay? And I'm going to give that a read. And one with Reddi-Whip.
Ooh. Yes, sir.
So, we gonna give this Reddi-Whip article a read first. Those of y'all who don't know what Reddi-Whip is, it's the best store-bought whipped cream that you can buy. I prefer to make mine, but if I gotta buy it, I'm buying Reddi-Whip. So, Reddi-Whip, the Reddi-Whip flavor is actually going to be hot cocoa flavored whipped cream, and it's going to be chocolate whipped cream.
Really?
So, what happens when you combine Reddi-Whip and Swiss Miss? You get a whipped cream worthy of a spot on your holiday dessert table. The 2 brands from Conagra have come together to create hot cocoa flavored whipped topping, and something tells us, this being Delish, because that is who this is by, it is going to be on every pie, cake, and, sweet that graces our plates. The gluten
and health report for giving us diabetes.
You know what I mean? The gluten-free dairy topping combines the classic silky whipped cream with the chocolate goodiness of Swiss Miss. And besides putting it on your desserts, people gonna put it on their cocoa too.
Oh yeah. Double chocolate.
You got double chocolate hot cocoa? Chocolate?
Come on now. What?
Double chocolate and
I'll
cocoa.
risk diabetes for that. I have a family history, but hey, you gotta risk it for the biscuit sometimes in life.
You know what I mean?
Crazy.
As with any other Reddi-Whip flavor, you want to make sure to shake the can and turn the nozzle completely upside down. That's the key to the perfect whip. Okay? But I feel like it might be a try for me. And it looks like they are selling this solely in double packs.
Oh.
Okay.
Twin
looks
packs?
like there's some 2 packs. 2 packs.
Yes, sir.
So I don't know about y'all. I'm gonna give it a try.
Oh,
because
yes.
I am not a chocolate person for real, unless it's dark chocolate.
Oh.
But I feel like
you feel me.
This will, you know what I mean? This will. I feel like this will definitely give me moose vibes. Okay. I feel like it'll definitely give me moose vibes. So I feel like, who knows? We might play with it on the YouTube channel. Or on the Instagram channel.
Yes, sir.
We might take it over to the Twitch and use it for something. Who knows? So
Twitch.tv/juicyjuice_ and at Enjoy Confections on Instagram.
You know what I mean? Of course. Now for our second Swiss Miss collab of the winter season. Okay. Your morning bowl or 2.
Yo, cereal. I already got it.
You
Yes,
feel me?
sir.
Cereal is about to get even more cozy and comforting because General Mills has teamed up with your favorite whip topping brand to create, and try saying this 10 times fast, Swiss Miss Cocoa Puffs Hot Cocoa Cereal.
I need a commercial, bro. That commercial sounds like the most fire rap song of all time.
Okay.
Swiss Miss Cocoa Puffs hot cereal. Yo, Swiss.
You know, it's just the kind of limited edition bite that combines the season with deliciousness. You can probably figure out, okay, that with this cereal, you know, you're going to start off with your crunchy chocolatey pieces with a hot cocoa flavor instead of the traditional cocoa flavor of Cocoa Puffs. But what's hot cocoa without marshmallows? You feel me?
Swiss Miss Cocoa Puffs hot cocoa cereal. What? It's gonna be stuck in my head all day.
Was cocoa without marshmallows. So not only are you getting Swiss Miss dusted Cocoa Puffs, because that's what we're looking at here. We're looking at Cocoa Puffs, a little bit of Swiss Miss dusted, with mini marshmallows in the cereal.
Sheesh.
So there's that, okay? It's only October, and Swiss Miss is ready to roll out they shit for real, okay?
They rolling out at the perfect time. Thanksgiving coming up, Christmas coming up. Come on, man.
Now, with our last article, I should say, as far as food goes, because I got some questions for y'all afterwards.
Yeah.
We got one more collab. I love when it get cold because everybody want to collab with their food. I love it. We got one last collab, and this is the one that I'm the most excited about. I'm not gonna hold you, okay?
Oh, shit.
Because I love both of these things. Okay, I love both of these things. So, Pop-Tarts, you know, they reign supreme as far as food shit go today, okay? Pop-Tarts is collaborating with, y'all ready? Eggo waffles.
Oh, okay.
So, with our Pop-Tarts Eggo waffle collab under their father parent of Kellogg's, okay, we have a yellow buttery, you know, pastry. So they're gonna change the pastry recipe specifically for this one, so it's giving a little bit more butter. The filling is maple, and the frosting is a white maple infused frosting with a yellow waffle pattern drawn onto it.
Oh.
Now, as you know, if you know me, I eat my Pop-Tarts frozen. I don't want to hear about it. I don't want to hear it. I eat my Pop-Tarts frozen. The science behind it being, the sweeter the Pop-Tart, if it's frozen, tastes like ice cream. Frozen Pop-Tarts make the best ice cream sandwiches. You want to try it, try it. You don't, argue with your mama. However, this is one that I will take a step out of my comfort zone. I might heat this one up.
Yes, sir.
If I try this one, if I find it, because this one does not come out till December of this year. If I try this one, if I find it, and if I find it, I'll try it on stream. We might heat this one up. Oh,
shit sounds great.
Twin, how many of these you gonna get your hands on? How many of these you think about trying?
I gotta find the money first, but as always,
please,
I'm broke. Listen, as great as things sound, bro, the way my wallet look is always gonna be the reality, regardless.
Bro,
but
if you find them, let me know how much they cost. Don't do that.
However, doesn't mean I'm not gonna get some. But you always gotta bring that into account. Anywho, back on topic.
Right.
I gotta try a good bit. The thing about me is the way I do it when it comes to like new products of this nature, when it comes to sweets myself. Because growing up, I used to be a crazy sweet tooth. And for folks who are either around my age or in their 20s right now, you realize that whatever you ate hella as a kid, you probably have a good chance of not being able to really stand as much as you used to now. So my sweet tooth is not the same anymore.
Because it done got sweeter. No, dead ass. I bake for a living, and my sweet tooth is almost non-existent.
So I'm more with the, you know, the light sweetness type of desserts, stuff like that, like beignets, stuff of that nature. Which once again, shout out to the Acorn in Pittsburgh. Them beignets was
Shout out
excellent.
to the Acorn.
But things like beignets, you know, cookies, cupcakes, stuff of those natures is more my speed now. I still fuck with cake, not as much as I used to. I've become more of a pie person. Anyway, we're getting off topic here.
As you because it's the best.
When it comes to stuff like this, it's always good to go with two. If you're really confident in it, you go three. Now I go two because the first one is a test subject, and in case that you like it, you have the second one to solidify the great experience. Now you're already confident in the product, so you bought three. So now either you can go straight pig with it and eat all three, or you're gonna go with the previous play that I just described to you. You hit the test subject, the second one to solidify, and you hold a third one for later. You feel me?
Okay.
And then after that, by then, once you hit those two or threes, if you liked it, it already solidifies repeat purchases. I'm telling you, bro. That is the way to move. I just broke down how y'all can save money when it comes to shit that you don't know is gonna be good enough. I'm telling you. I'm telling you, bro. Put it in your playbook. I'm telling you, you save money as well as you know what you gonna mess with before spending a whole bunch of money. Instead of you buying, like, you hear this is gonna be great, say for some reason this is not gonna be good for you. You be like, oh, it sounds great. Let me go buy 10. Now you tried to eat 2 to really like it, and now you don't like it, and now you sitting there with 8 more. You see what I'm saying? So that's why it's safe to do 2 to 3, bro.
When it comes to this Pop-Tart, they come in 8 packs at the store and 2 packs at your corner store.
I mean, go to the corner store and get the 2-pack. But if you're confident, I think going with the 8-pack. Because a lot of people like Pop.
I'm going to the store and buying at least 2 boxes of these Pop-Tarts.
Like people like Pop-Tarts. So if you go buy that 8-pack and you don't like it, somebody gonna eat the rest of that pack.
On me. Our last question of the pod, as I said, you know, for those of you who don't know, autumn, fall, whatever you may call it, 'tis my favorite season because I love watching the leaves change. I love warm flavors. I love aromatics. Okay. I love duck, and fall is the best time to make it. Okay. So my question to y'all is, and we'll ask this again, you know, in December, what are your favorite fall flavors? In the chat, in the comments, twin, what are your favorite fall flavors?
Okay, fall flavors. I really don't be putting flavors in categories, so someone's gonna have to refresh my memory as to what we consider fall flavors.
Be cinnamon, chai, nutmeg, maple. We talking about savory flavors,
my
like
these days.
Sage. A lot of most like spicier Asian flavors would be considered fall flavors.
Right.
So yeah, those are your fall flavors.
It might have to be cinnamon, to be honest.
Or like a spiced vanilla. I'm a spiced vanilla bitch.
Spiced vanilla sounds great.
It's really good. Spiced vanilla, a good spiced vanilla is like vanilla with some Chinese 5-spice and like some cinnamon. So like it's like them hot flavors, like them hot aromatic flavors, but it's like dulled a little bit because of the vanilla.
Right. Honestly, that sounds great.
It's really good.
I need to try some spiced vanilla sometime, but cinnamon for sure.
I am a chai person because chai is the first tea that I discovered that wasn't just regular, like sweet tea or something like that. That I like. Chai is the reason I love Earl Grey so much.
Okay. I need to
So
try
I see a
Thai
lot of
tea.
people,
I'm
a
gonna
lot of
try and
people
get
in the
into my
chat
tea
saying
bag for real, for
cinnamon.
real.
Cinnamon is cool. I feel like cinnamon isn't as powerful as people make it out to be, but it can be very overpowering.
I mean,
If you
after
know
that
what I mean.
cinnamon challenge blew up, boy, everybody's scared of cinnamon.
My thing is, bro, knowing the composition and the makeup of cinnamon, that challenge was set up. It was setting y'all up for failure.
I mean, everybody was here for it. It's the internet.
Because cinnamon is hydrophobic. If you don't know what that means cinnamon sits on top of liquid. If you've never made French toast before, or if you have and you see when you put your cinnamon in your eggs, it's the one thing that clumps together. It don't whisk in together unless you like heavy handing whisking it. Also, fun fact, you want to avoid that. Mix it with the sugar before you do it. That's why cinnamon is hydrophobic. It does not absorb into liquid.
It's good to know.
So that challenge, a setup for failure. No one was meant to succeed.
I mean, the
And
viewers succeeded, bro.
Okay? No, literally, you're right.
The viewers succeeded,
Y'all doing
man.
these humongous spoonfuls, bro. That was an iconic era for real.
I'm telling you, man. Which, who knows? Maybe next episode we might visit the eras of the internet. We might talk about that. I think that could be cool.
Okay, could be cool.
Go
A little trip
that.
down memory lane.
That definitely could be fire. Telling y'all, bro, we got a lot of stuff lined up for this podcast, man.
A lot of
topics,
a
lot of things to talk about. I think a lot of possibly structured debates.
Oh yeah,
because as much as you may think that we are pretty much the same person, I consider us more like twins. A lot in common, but two separate people. So there's definitely gonna be some topics that we may go back and forth on. Nothing too heated. Nothing like, I can't believe you think that. Nothing on that tip, but more of
nothing that'll break us up, y'all.
You
nothing
think
like that.
You think over here, I'm more over here. Whatever the case is, understanding both perspectives and moving on from there. You know, the way people are supposed to have debates and conversations. But
it's a difference between a debate and an argument. But
indeed. But
that's the end of episode 2.
That's the end of episode 2, man. Unfortunately, with the technical difficulty, literally at the end, for anybody who's just strolling back in, you pull up with the outro. So
we will try to edit these together so that way, because that cutoff was really at a terrible time.
Very terrible time. Because for folks who want it inside, like, I have McAfee. I actually have the actual computer security, as you should. If you can get, it's the best thing to do to protect your devices. But
this is not a sponsored stream.
Not at all. McAfee, holla at the boy, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, know what I mean?
Who's gonna hustle for a brand, it's me. But my VPN cut on randomly just now. So the stream was fine, but then my VPN cut on, so it completely switches my IP address. So folks like, what the where did it go? I guess they ended the cut.
Right. And this is why one of us always has the channel health up on the dashboard.
For sure.
Because if not, we would have just been in here talking.
Indeed. But of
course, it
course,
was very much mid sentence before I was like, "Hey, stream cut off."
It sure was. But despite the technical difficulties, it's been a great episode. I think we talked about some great things. So hopefully in the next couple of days, these VODs pop up. If not, that's gonna be terrible. That there's a lost episode.
No, literally, because episode 2 was it was what it was supposed to be. It was a very nice follow up for episode 1.
For sure. Our first clean episode.
I'm gonna be really sad if it goes into the abyss of lost YouTube videos
because of this situation. So hopefully it posts. If it does, I'll try to private it as quickly as possible. Get the other part. We're gonna edit it and then we're gonna upload it, and then hopefully we won't have any issues like this again. But honestly, it's still a great pod.
Yeah.
So as always, it's your smart people with smart mouths on the Braincast. If you don't know already, I'm the left side of the brain, Cedric the Creator. You can check me out down below. As you can see, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok at CED the Creator, all one word. YouTube channels, Cedric the Creator and Cedric the Gamer, as well as on Twitch at twitch.tv/Cedric the Gamer. You can check me out on all those. Next couple months is going to get active, especially on the gaming and content side. We got Nintendo November. We're doing straight Nintendo games for the Twitch side, as well as Stream Miss, the second annual Stream Miss, where we're going to go 25 days straight streaming every single day for 25 days in honor of the wonderful and great family bonding time that is Christmas. So feel free to join. Check the links down below. You can see everything, and not only just mine, but as well as Miss Juice here. Take it away.
You know, it is the right side of the brain, soon to be your favorite beverage if I'm not already. We also have some things coming for the next couple months. Like I said, you can follow all the links down below at juicebox_Garcia on Twitter, straight juice for the Stola YouTube channel, at the cocky_confectioner on Instagram for the personal, or for the business Instagram, the letter N, Joy Confections, no spaces. If you would like to order some cookies, you can hit me up on any of those platforms, and I will give you the list of such. Like I said before, we are closed up till November. And yes, I know November starts on Monday, so I will be getting that together, but we are closed up until the first couple weeks of November, just because we got some heavy orders from the homies in the last couple weeks, and I appreciate y'all and I love y'all very much. Because, you know, selling out is a good thing.
It sure is.
Selling out is a good thing. And D-boys cleaned me out. I had nothing in here except a bag of powdered sugar and some sprinkles. So I had to go buy everything. I had to re-up on all my ingredients, okay? So there is that. But we are officially taking orders again. As always, I will let you know the price. $10 for shipping, 2-day shipping. And, you know, we can just get into it. Become a member of the Enjoy family, where you enjoy every bite. So that is that as far as the cookies go. On Twitch side, like I said, y'all, we are also doing big things. It's getting cold, so we are back in our baking bag. Okay, don't be surprised if we also have a couple streams where we are joining the left side of my brain for some wonderful activities. Most of them are us getting drunk. Yes, but sir. You know, because boy, Cocoa Butter got some good ideas, and I'm trying to see because I cannot wait for that one. I have not drunk majority of those things since college.
Hey man,
that's the whole thing. For real. Like I don't think I've ever had Thug Passion, and I'm scared.
I've never had it. I don't even know that was. I barely knew that was a thing. I probably heard about it in passing, but
and was just like, okay. But
I guess like
I digress. You have my link tree also with Ced's link tree in the description below. Like we said as well, all of the articles, we will try to post them down below in the description as well, so that way you can get an in-depth look at what we've been talking about. Leave your comments below if you would like to have us discuss anything that you personally want to see talked about on the podcast. Hit up the email.
#AskBraincast on Twitter as well. Twitter. If you're more of a Twitter person, we'll try to check that out every week, man.
Every week, so that way we get y'all on here. As always, if you would ever like to step in to the brain and be a co-host for a little bit, let us know. Send an email what you want to talk about, any of that, and we'll see if we can get you on. But you being a viewer is just as much of a help. We love being in here and interacting with y'all, seeing y'all in the chat, you know, taking y'all viewpoints, seeing how y'all agree, disagree, concur, add information, because we don't know everything.
Indeed.
You know,
never will act like we do.
I love to learn no hip hop Harry, but you know, so that is that on my side. I believe Ced is done as well.
Yes, sir.
And with that being said, we will see y'all next week. Peace, y'all.
Yeah, have a good one.